I clicked the Streamer Uniente button. We should be live right now. You should be able to see me on the screen, guys. Tell me in the chat if you can see me. Here we literally go. Bitcoin is dumping as we speak. We've got about 2,000 bits here. We're looking good, guys. Absolute nuke station. We are going to get into this price action because, legends, you know that my crystal ball absolutely nailed this to the T again. I'm long, guys, from the bottom, and then I'm looking for a lower high and then nuke. Guys, you can't beat that. That's literally to the fucking nail. Institutions ringing me left, right, and center asking me, how the fuck do you do it, MDX? How do you know? What's crack-a-lacking out here? Hopefully it's all looking good. It says stream is wrecked. I don't know. Hopefully the stream is good. Is it looking good? Who knows? Stream offline. Hopefully it's okay. Guys, we had the long here. Look at that right there, guys. I said it's going to be a lower high scenario and then absolute nuke station, guys. That's exactly what we've got. If you can tell me in the chat if the stream is working. I think the stream is working. Hopefully it looks nice and clean and crisp on the screen if you're not lying to me again. You naughty little leggies if you're lying to me. Can you hear me or not? Tell me in the chat, you naughty legendes. But guys, yeah, absolute moonship. I predicted it perfectly. I said I'm long. I got into that position. I actually did get stopped out of that position in a profit. And this specific massive move here, perfectly as predicted. I did say that, guys. I'm looking for the lower high scenario and then a nuke. That's exactly what we've got, guys. The lower high scenario on resistance and then the nuke. And on this specific move, actually, I haven't got any leverage positions open, but I do have a significant amount of cash I've been buying for a long, long time. Guys, stop saying it's all the sound. Is the sound looking good? Are we looking clear? I like this shizaminism. We're ready to go, guys. The predictions all out here right now. At the beginning of this video, I just told you guys, I said I'm long. I said looking for a lower high and then a nuke, guys. That's exactly what we've got on this price. We actually did a deviation of the prior resistance as well. Massive nuke down, guys. Now we have broken some significant structure. This level is the last level to hold. And then we're very likely going to go 25, guys. And I've been calling for 25 for longer than anyone was even thinking about it. I've done tweets talking about it. I've been speaking about my $25,000 position. $25,000 position. I've got a lot of cash, guys. I actually feel dirty, the amount of cash I've got. I had a very, very nice swing long on one of my leverage exchanges. But in terms of this short coming down, I haven't got any leverage positions on this, but I do have a significant amount of cash, which is in essence, I look at it as a short, accumulating all of my cash flow, all of my selling of altcoins, all of my profits on PEP, all of my profits from altcoins I've been selling. BTC, anything which would go to BTC has not been going to BTC. It's been going into USDC. Actually, I have something to talk about USDT as well. But 25, I actually do think 25 could get overshot and we could go a little bit lower. But guys, in essence, if I hold USDT or US dollars, which are in the crypto world in terms of a blockchain-based US dollar, in essence, I look at that as a short because, you know, it's only going to go one place, and that's to Bitcoin. So I have a significant amount of cash on the side, guys. I'm feeling very confident about this now in terms of my prediction where I said, look, I'm long, guys, for the first move up. I actually got stopped out on that trade that long, but it was in profit. Obviously, my stop was running up behind it. But I said we're looking for a lower high. That's exactly what we got, guys. You know, it could have come up a little bit long, a bit higher. Like in argument's sake, you know, we could have maybe come up to trend or maybe come to this trend line. But this is just showing basically confidence in price. People who are participating in the price of Bitcoin, buyers and sellers. This is just expressing confidence in terms of the narrative, or let's just say there are more sellers than buyers right now because we're seeing that the market didn't manage to get higher than we thought. If it came up to here and it's got further down to go, so that means that sellers prepared to come in, but we're just seeing confidence in sellers. People are beginning to take over the sell side. And now, guys, we're at this level here, and actually we've already broken it, to be completely fair. And this level is very, very important. We have these levels here, but, you know, we're getting through these now, and the more you're going to go down and break through them, the more likely you're going to get a systemic snap of structure. And the whole structure here, guys, is quite blatantly obvious, isn't it, really? Like, we've done this a billion times. But lots of very interesting things to look at on this chart, actually. This is actually giving away a lot of interesting information. So we have $25,000, guys, which are obviously going to be acting as as support. And then, guys, you can see here very clearly this trend line here. If you can see that, I don't know if it's quite faint, but there's a blue line coming along here. It actually goes like this blue line. Let me just trace it out for you. And this blue line is the 200-day moving average. Now, this 200-day moving average is pretty significant, in especially Bitcoin. Other markets, I'll look at the 21-week, maybe some few other moving averages, but for a long time, guys, the 200-day moving average has been a very, very good general barometer of whether the market is looking decent, and it does act as support and resistance. We know this. You can see here, guys, that the 200-day moving average is actually perfectly aligned with this trend line as well. That's some pretty significant confluence where I do like to look at. Guys, hit the like button as well. You know what to do. Desecrate that like button. We've got like 200 and whatever people, only 36 likes. The more likes, guys, the more dopamine I get. And the more dopamine I get, you know what can happen, legends. I can go on an absolute bonanza rant. This is going to be a strictly TA session. I've got some open orders, but I've got most of my position in terms of my shorts are in cash at the moment. You guys know from my other videos, sometimes I do live trading as well. But guys, the 200-day moving average, yeah, we're going to the moon. It's not FUD. This is not FUD. There's no FUD around this at the moment, guys, just to be completely clear. There is no evidence of any news story in any market ever having any quantifiable evidence for moving the price. The price is determined by more buyers or more sellers. You can wishy-washy and you can think about what the reasons were, but the reason you think the price went down is the reason that someone thought the price went up, okay? It's not quantifiable. You need to look at the market objectively, not subjectively. Objectively, it's only buyers and sellers. There is no quantifiable proof to prove or have any statement that news has anything to do with events for price action. You can't prove it, so don't fucking bother. Spoken about that a fair few times. But yeah, guys, the 200-day moving average is coming in here. Actually, it's a pretty significant how it's on this trend line, so I do think this will get tagged at some point. You know, I'm getting pretty confident now. I wouldn't say I'm 100% there because we do have this last line in the sand. We could find support in terms of range lows. Like, to be completely perfectly frank with this, we have the high price and we have the low prices. You know, range lows is here, so there is potentially a trade for a bounce here. I just took the bounce trade here, guys. You know from my Twitter, I got long here. I took that bounce trade. I got stopped out at basically probably got about 2/3 of the profit out of it because obviously I wasn't going to wait and take the profit at the top. I was going to wait until my stop got hit. The stop was rising. But like I said, guys, I'm looking for a lower high and then nuke. That is exactly what's happened, guys. You can see here, we have a lower high, lower high, lower high. I was looking for a lower high and then nuke. Exactly as predicted, guys. If you want to get a little bit ahead of the curve in terms of my predictions, guys, go to mdxalgo.com and get mdxalgo.com because in my VIP group, I give out my predictions a little bit earlier than I do on Twitter. So let's be completely fair, though, because we've got a few more people in here. Is it not clear? Hopefully the internet's looking pretty good, guys. Can you tell me if the stream is looking good? Hit a like if the stream is looking good. Tell me in the comments if everything's clear and sharp and whatever. Tell me what's crack-a-lackin', homies. So let's be completely fair here. It could have come up a little bit more, you know, in hindsight. You know, obviously hindsight is something you look back on the past on. But, you know, looking back at it, you could probably say that it could have come up a little bit longer, a little bit higher here. But because it didn't, that just means that the market is more bearish. There are more sellers in the market than buyers. And what it's expressing to you is actually we have some sort of parabola if to the downside. And if you invert this chart, you know, a lot of you guys probably wouldn't be betting against that in a bullish market, okay? You can see here that the highs, or you can say the lows on this, are getting exponentially higher. And you could actually say that that probably looks like some sort of ascending formation, okay? So when you invert the charts, you're going to relieve a lot of your biases from your constant bullish narrative on Bitcoin. Bitcoin can go down. It's just as good going down as it is going up, depending on whatever you're thinking, your strategy. So, you know, this is a pretty big dent down to the downside. We're actually coming to this level here. You know, I just did the bounce trade on this specific support level. Like, that was quite obvious, guys, to buy that as support. We got the move up, guys, and we've got the lower high. This is actually articulating quite a lot of sell pressure just because we haven't managed to get, you know, if we went to there and then down, then guess what? You've got a longer way to go down to then get that support. We've actually broken support. So I would say that there is a buy here. I'd be hesitant if I was trading it. I actually am not really going to look for any more bounce trades on this. I think I'm getting pretty certain that we will eventually hit 25, and that's where my next big buy is going to be, around probably 25 to 24.5, or maybe even 23 if it wicks through it, because there's so many fucking buy orders there. Everyone and their mother is talking about 25k since I was talking about it months ago. So I would say that this level here, guys, is the line in the sand. There is potentially a bounce trade. I'm probably not going to take it. I'd probably wait actually for a little bit more significant price action. If you go on a lower time frame like the 5 minute, you can see here that this is a pretty darn beautiful nuke. Actually, this is a very similar trade setup to the last short I got. I got a very lucrative trade on Bitcoin when it went and retested the highs. I was betting on a lower high again, and I got like a $250,000 short, and that really did make some money. This is a very similar scenario in terms of lower high. In this specific scenario, I didn't leverage trade it. I had the longs open. That got stopped in profit, but now I have a lot of cash I've been telling you guys about. I've got more cash than I've had in probably 5 years on the side, waiting to go into crypto. That's a big statement for me because obviously Bitcoin's been up and it's been down. We've had the whole bear market. You know, in 2019, the bear market in 2017, 18, 19, we had that whole area. But to be honest, in terms of the amount of cash I've got on the side to buy Bitcoin, there's never been a time more than this. And that's saying a lot because obviously even when we went to the very top, you know, that's mental. Obviously, I have more cash in general, but I have a lot of cash on the side, guys, to buy 25, between 25 and 20. And then, guys, yeah, so this is the big move we've had down. It's broken this support. So there is, like I said, there are going to be some opportunities for some bounce trades. So I'm just not going to take it. What I would wait for to take a long now would probably be something like this, and then back down and finding support on prior support before. And then, yeah, you could look for this level to get broken, and potentially that could be it. But I would say that the probability, you know, obviously, guys, like I do on these videos, short term, medium term, long term, I kind of just jump straight into this because the price is moving. But on the short term, obviously, the price action is more likely to go down as we've just continued the trend. So I'd say, you know, maybe lower. Medium term, I do think now, looking at this break, we are more likely to get 25. And then, guys, I'll flip to long term. You know, obviously, I'll speak about long term in a minute with the CBBI. In the long term, I still do think that, you know, Bitcoin overall is going to have a very good bull market into the next coming years. But I'll go into that in terms of long term stuff. We all know that. So daily candles, guys, let's have a look here. We do have some sort of like Darth Maul candle coming in here. The government sold the Bitcoin, sir. Yeah, there's no quantifiable evidence to say anything. There's no point looking at any of that stuff because it's not going to give you an edge to make money. So we have a look at Darth Maul type of candle here, guys, with the 12-hour as well. I do look at the 12 hours, look at the momentum indicators. So momentum indicators are pretty shot to the downside on the 12-hour. I do look at this actually quite a lot. And the 12-hour stochastic RSI is very, very good. We had bearish divergence here, which took us down. And we do have some nice swings here. So we are a little bit overexhausted on the 12-hour. So I think this breakdown here could be combated with some upside pressure. And I think ultimately on the short term, you know, it looks to me like on the very short term, the next couple of minutes, we're probably going to go lower. Maybe something back up, guys, and then flushing back down again. This is a pretty logical scenario, obviously, looking at those momentum indicators. But we don't want to just strictly look at stochastic RSI, guys. We need to look at the indicators from the MDX side. And obviously, these are the insanely profitable indicators for people who use them. Let's have a look at what we've got on the MDX Algo 5. Let me just whip over to this as well and look at long to short ratio. We are going to go through long to short ratio. I actually have been talking about this for quite a while. So, guys, on terms of, let's go through the list. We've got daily. We might be, okay, daily's looking like it wants to turn down. 12, 4 hour. Let's flick through these. 4 hours actually coming back up a little bit. Let's get down some lower time frames like the 1 hour. Obviously, this is high Kanashi candles I've got on this right now. 45 minutes. Let's have a look what we've got here. And I want to look at the market flow as well in terms of volume coming in on higher time frames, but let's go on the 5 minute as well. So we're looking like we could get a bounce there. So let me go on the weekly, guys, and have a look at what the money flow is doing. It's coming around a little bit, but we seem pretty good. So yeah, it's all looking pretty interesting to me, guys. I'm not going to lie in terms of maybe us getting that 25K. Another good thing, which is kind of it's in synergy with that, is the long to short ratio, guys. We know that if the market, I literally said this on my Twitter, guys. You need to follow me on Twitter if you're not already doing so. But if you look at this, guys, some guy said to me, but Max, MDX, long to short ratio. What are you talking about? We're not going up. I was like, we're going long, and then we're going to get a lower high. It's another move up to get it to 70%, and then we nuke. That's exactly what we got, guys. Literally 100% down. So I said here, guys, on this tweet, like everyone's coming in here, I'm long from this level here, guys. We went up. Bitcoin, I'm looking for a lower high and then nuke. Bang, we got it. The crystal ball is out. It is 100% confirmed that the crystal ball nailed it on the head. My crystal ball, which is in my balls, we know, leggies, what's crack-a-lacking out here. So it's really good to see this is playing out. This is going into my ideal scenario with these lower highs coming in, exponentially lower high as well. Guys, if you want to go back and look at this, you can look at it. But we're coming back down, guys, exponentially lower high. If you invert this, you can see, obviously, that you wouldn't be betting against that. So this is playing into my ideal scenario, which was I've been accumulating a significant amount of cash in this range. If we do break down to 25 or lower, I will be looking to buy and deploying that money into the market because that has been, you know, it's the biggest amount of cash I've had for literally many, many years in terms of on the sidelines to buy this next dip. Because we've got to remember, guys, when Bitcoin rallies from the lows of the beginning of this year, you know, when Bitcoin goes from fucking 15.8 to 30, you're looking at a massive 99, 100% move. So the moves in percent are going to be very, very juicy at the bottom end at the beginning of a bull market. You know, for Bitcoin to go from 100 to 200, it's only 100%. For Bitcoin to go 15 to 30, it's 100%. So it's in essence another bull market. So these areas down here are where you really want to be taking, you really want to be going to work now. I've said this a million times, but you really want to be looking at this now and going to work because the decisions you make now are going to massively affect you into the future in terms of the numbers will exponentially grow. So, you know, this range down here, guys, I think it's getting pretty probable now. If we did get a snap back out, I would change that bias. I do think that this level is probably going to get lost. You know, there's a lot of people calling for, you know, some sort of head and shoulders on this. You know, there is a structure which resembles a head and shoulders. For me, this is you would call this an extremely complex head and shoulders. There is a head and shoulders formation here, okay? But there's no point really going by head and shoulders, because head and shoulders you've got buyers, you get support, you make a new high, you come back down, you rally back up, and you just don't break the previous high. So it's not, head and shoulders it's just not that good at looking for that type of analysis. I've never had any trade where I've said, oh, look, there's a head and shoulders, and then traded it and made money. It's never that. I'm always looking at different things which are basically giving you more of an idea before even that formation plays out. So there could be some sort of complex head and shoulders here. A lot of people are talking about that, but I think that's just for people who are a little bit less in the know about what you could use for other tools. You've got the other guys coming out saying, oh yes, look at this, inverted this and inverted that. Look, it's not a big deal. There is some sort of complex formation here, and I do understand that if you do have a flat bottom of support in a range, okay, and you rallied up to it and you find support, there is a criteria here for that. But I wouldn't look at it like that. I would just say, look, the market's got a flat bottom. There's a couple of levels of support here, okay? So this is a very interesting area to look at. We've got descending highs. The highs are coming into an exponential gradient. Like I said on my tweet, guys, I said that it's long and then it's a lower high and then dump. Go on my Twitter legends. Actually, I'm going to do a competition on this tweet as well. If you like this tweet and do something on it, you will be able to win some money on this. But guys, this is exactly what we're looking for. Cash position's looking good. As of right now, legends, this level is not lost. So in theory, and obviously this is all just going by speculation, but this could hold. The probability actually probably is that we do get something off it, because this level here is the range low. Let's be completely fair. But in what I look at, the probability is significantly increasing that this level is lost and 25 gets tagged. And actually, everyone and their mother's talking about 25, so we probably do get some fuckery down there. I just think going from a purely, let's just say logical, or let's just go textbook standpoint, if you're going to go and look at this, if this was an FX market like Aussie dollar to Great British pound, it would just come to 25k and bounce off it, okay? It's just more likely to do what the actual general, the textbook. But it's Bitcoin. So the Bitcoin isn't textbook. So I'm saying that it could be a flush through it and come down to the 200-day moving average. That would be actually very interesting to me as well. So it's between here and here. I'm going to be looking to get my buy orders in. I actually do have buy orders laddered all the way from 25, because I'm not a fucking... I'm not here to completely... Obviously, I have a crystal ball, legends. I've got a crystal ball. But, there's no exact price I'm looking at. I just think that anywhere between here and here, the probability of getting a bounce back up is very likely. So that means that in this region, I think I'm going to be looking to buy. And if I am buying it, I'm buying it with cash. And if we do get that, then we have another lower high and we come back down and do this, then we have it's a significant 1, 2, 3 touch on this trend line. And if we break that, then we know actually $20,000 on the cards. And guys, I actually do think, if 25 doesn't hold and we end up fucking around with 20, I think Bitcoin will make a new low. I don't think it will be down sustained underneath 20k for a long period of time. But I do see this being tagged, if not with a wick. And we know what the market's like. It's going to get into a fearful state, and you're probably going to see a flush on the books. And if everyone's fucking long like they are right now, you can see crazy things happen. And that would be obviously going into the narrative of what I spoke to earlier on this year in January 1st. I spoke about this January 1st, legends. At the start of the year, I said that do not rule this motherfucking shit out, because this happened and no one thought this was going to happen except the traders at the time who were shorting before COVID. And guess what? We were all in... I'm not going to go into this a million times. I told you that I got into this position before COVID happened, and that's why there's no evidence to say COVID-19, the disease, was the reason Bitcoin went down in price. There is no evidence to say that COVID-19, the virus, was the reason for Bitcoin going down in price, okay? I won't go into it again and again and again, but this scenario here, I don't know if you can even see that. My face might be in the way or something with the camera. I'll go down into it now. Don't rule this shit out, legends, okay? Because this is a very, very nice bear market rally. Everyone thought this was going to go and be the next big thing in terms of the next bull market. We actually came back down and retested the lows later on in the year. And I do think that this is still a plausible scenario, especially if we lose $20,000. $20,000, I think we're going to go back down to 15. And, I do see some macro events as well. I won't blah, blah, blah about the macro, but I'm saying that, looking at some historical data, which is backed up by the inverted yield curve and the Federal Reserve, there is some sort of correlation with the last 3 or 4 times that there is usually a pullback in risk assets when the Fed pivots on interest rates. Look, the past doesn't always foresee the future. We just use it as to give us probabilities. I would say that the probability is we do get something, okay? I think it's towards the end of this year. I think the Fed is flat for 6 months, okay? And, you know, if we do get some sort of systemic collapse at the end of the year, I do think Bitcoin retests the lows. That's the buying opportunity, okay? So I just want to get that out of the way. If you want to really talk about long-term and go into the fucking commitment of traders, the CBBI has bottomed, okay? I will literally put a freaking... Okay, I will eat my fucking ring. I will eat this ring on this desk. If the CBBI goes below motherfucking 2, if we go to 1 on the CBBI, I will eat that fucking silver ring on the table, okay? That's how much shit... Well, that's going to be a difficult shit, I can tell you that, if that does happen. But the CBBI has bottomed, okay? So long-term, I think Bitcoin is in the beginning stages of its new grand bull market, rallying back up to all-time new highs and basically breaking $100,000 in the future, okay? So the CBBI has bottomed, which is great news. The commitment of traders is great news for the bulls. The commitment of traders, legendes, have actually been tapering down their short exposure, okay? So this is really, really important. Really want to make a fucking point about this. This means that institutional grade traders, the CME, are bringing down their general exposure to the short side. What does that mean? It means that Bitcoin's not going to fucking go up tomorrow. This doesn't bear any relation to the immediate future, right, today. What this does mean is that we are shifting towards a more bias to the long side. It's still short, obviously, so I'm not saying it's going to be completely long, but we are beginning to shift down in short exposure on the CME. It doesn't mean it can happen tomorrow because there's still fuckloads of shorts, okay? But it's a good sign that there's low highs and lower lows on the CME, the Chicago Mercantile Exchange. What they're doing is they're generally taking profits from when they got short at $48,000. The CME guys got short at 48K. I did a video at the time saying, look, legends, get a fucking stop loss. It's quite likely, actually, we might see some sort of pullback because the CME are getting short, okay? So this is that move there. Carrying on. So going back a few clicks, let's get back onto the lower time frames because we know that right now we are at support. Logically speaking, like you can see these low highs coming in, this is what we're really looking for, guys. Are we going to get 25K now? Or we've got to be very, very clear and say, are we going to get that 200-day moving average, which is perfectly aligned with this moving trend line here, this horizontal, or let's just say, sorry, horizontal, legends, all over the gap. Vertically shaped goddamn trend line, legends. Okay, I love it. I'm back. Okay, so 4 hours. Let's get on to this a little bit lower. And let's have a look on the lower time frames. Also, I wanted to go through something real quick in terms of where was it? There was something on Twitter I was going to go through. Anyway, so let's go back to the short term, guys, and have a look at this. And also, I want to make a quick mention, legends, to the freaking channel sponsor. So, guys, Bybit and OKX. Links are in the description below, guys. If you want to get big bonuses, go and check them out. They'll let you give you thousands of fucking dollars. If you want to get MDX Algo for free as well for your first motherfucking month, you can do something which is the Bybit partnership. So if you make an account with Bybit with my link below, you will be able to get your first month of MDX Algo free. And also, if you already have an MDX Algo account, you can get another month back. So they'll deposit withdrawable money into your account, okay? All we got to do is make a Bybit account with my link below, and you can get your first month of MDX Algo free. And Legends OKX as well, because they've got all the other shit going on with the copy trading. So if you have an OKX account with my link, you can get access to our new copy trading bot, which we're going to be releasing, okay? So MDX Algo, you guys already know what's going on. The long to short ratio I was going to mention, that was it. Well, that was it. I forgot what I was going to say, Legends, but this will be clipped. So long to short ratio right now, guys, we're looking at 67%. I spoke earlier about this. Look, if we do find support here, I would say that we're going to come up like we are a little bit now, and we could see that long to short ratio really begin to pop off and get into that 70% area. The long to short ratio being here is making me more confident that we're not going to be able to hold this up, and we're going to go $25,000. That long to short ratio, we like from the beginning, I've said from the beginning of time that the more longs, the worse for the bulls, because we don't want everyone to be on the same page or aiming the same direction. So from this standpoint right now in the short term, we could get something like this, guys. If we can't get above this level and sustain for a while, and we actually do see resistance here, that's going to be the real, sword at the end of the fight for the king. See on the flippers through the heart. That's going to be gone. That's going to be game over for this, because this level really is the last level before the lows, which needs to hold. And if we just keep losing supports, what I look at, my hunch is looking like, just generally through my experience over the years of trading, this looks like it's overall beginning to hunch over. You can see here, if you invert it, actually does look like a pretty good ascending formation. We've broken trend. It looks like it could go. So I would say that the probability, if we find resistance here, is very, very likely. Actually, I think we're looking at about 70% chance. I do, like I said at the beginning of this video, think that there is probably actually some sort of bounce trade here just going on pure SR. this is support multiple times. You could play a bounce trade. If we come down to it slowly and see resistance, the shorts you're really looking for. I've already told you guys that I've been shorting all the way through here, guys. I've been every single penny I get paid, everything, all my cash flow, every single altcoin I made money on, all my Pepe trades, all the meme coin shit, all that stuff. None of it's gone into Bitcoin. All of it's stayed in USDT. So in my mind, that's a short because that would have gone to Bitcoin otherwise. So I've been shorting the whole way down here in essence, and I would say that this level really is the line in the sand. Like I said, we might get some volatility, and we can go on the lower time frames and have a look. The stochastic RSI is likely going to be shot on the 5 minute, and also when we went on the lower time frames on MDX Algo. If you really want to have fun with MDX Algo, guys, just get it on the 5 minute and just fuck around with it, because you are going to have an absolute field day. You can see here, oversold, coming back up, orange dots, orange dot there saying warning signs. It's all over the gaff, guys. You can really, really use these to your advantage to trade. We have some new updates as well with some pretty trending stuff. But even here, guys, you've got a really nice strategy where you can just be like, okay, well, we've broken above the 200. Support, orange dots to give you that confluence. It's just all these nice longs you could have got into. Some really nice shorts here as well. Coming along this trend line, that's resistance back down. So the lower time frames, guys, you can have a really good time with these indicators. MDXalgo.com, you know what to do. Anyway, and also if you want to get a free month, just go to the link below, get a Bybit account. If you already have a Bybit account with my link, you can now claim your first month off for MDXalgo. And even if you have an MDXalgo account, so if you already have one which is actually live right now, you have a live subscription, go into the portal, click on claim free month, and your account might already be under me. You might be watching my videos for years. All you got to do is put your ID number in, verify it, bang. Your account will be topped up with withdrawable money, $30 withdrawable money, $1,000 free position. This is not a deposit bonus like any bullshit. You get a free position and $30 withdrawable. All you got to do, guys, is make a Bybit account with my link in the description. That is it. That is literally it. I think it's the Buy Bitcoin link. I don't even know if I've got it set up correctly. Let me just make sure you've got it. Yeah, it's down there, guys, somewhere. Let me just do this quickly for you. Guys, tell me in the chat as well. I want to know what is crack-a-lacking with you. Are you legends? Are you doing this? Are you doing that? Which country are you watching from? Tell me in the chat. We're going to do a nice long stream tonight, really get into this crash. I'm going to chart, live with you guys, obviously. I haven't got any open positions on Bybit right now. I had some big trades open the other day, but actually for now, I'm just going to sit on my cash positions. I do think that that's more than enough to be shorting this right now in terms of the exposure. I did a tweet here as well, guys. It'd be interesting to see some of your comments, so go and comment on this. Let's get back to the chart. So on the lower time frames, guys, if you want me to do some charting for you on this legend, let's get on the 1 minute legend. Let's get really down there. Okay, so let's have a look where we're at. Yeah, to be honest, this is an S curve looking like this, so probably something like this and then back down. That's what I'd say on the lower time frames right now. We actually do have some sort of formation playing out here as well. It's kind of half ascending, so I would say likely going to get something like that and then probably back down on the lower time frames. Obviously, guys, when I'm just quickly analyzing the market on the 1 minute, take that with a pinch of salt, because obviously we know that stuff can get pretty crazy down here. I also do want to make a big point actually about something. I completely forgot my trail of thought, but I want to make a point about some schism and nizza in a minute. It will come back to me about what I was going to speak about, sir. Let's look at total too, how altcoins are doing. Altcoins are getting wrecked. Let's look at Peps as well. Pepe was doing quite funny. Yeah, I think altcoins are kind of giving this away. The altcoin market cap's probably going to come down to the mid zone on this as well. Ethereum, look, we whip this up as well. Yeah, ETH's going to get murked at some point. I don't think it's going to do too well. I don't like this posture. It's coming into resistance pretty clearly here. I think, likely on ETH we're going to get... I think ETH's been kind of, being a bit of an indication or leading this market. I do think it's at least trend or down into here. For Ethereum, let's have a look at gold's reacted. I think gold's going to see resistance as well. But anyway, let's get back onto the Bitty and have a look what's going on in the chats. I had a point I was going to make about something which is really interesting about the Bitty, about people getting this shit wrong. Okay, so big wick, guys, on the lower time frames on the 1 hour here. Like I said, this level here would have been nice to get the tag on. This is the level of support. So what you're looking for now, guys, on the hourly or lower time frames, if you're going to be trading this on the lowers, something up to here. If this level here, say we come back down to the lows again, this is the most bearish scenario. If we rally back up and you see resistance on this, that's where you want to look for a short. You could actually look for a short here as well, because these are the SR levels. So if you have your chart open now, guys, draw on these levels. The prices are on the screen. You can see them. These are likely going to be the most significant levels. You can already see we're trying to find support on one of them. And overall, I think that on the short term, it could be a little bit wishy-washy trading action. If you have the indicators, guys, I'll get this on the 1 minute. It's going to be an absolute field day if you want to trade on the MDX indicators on the 1 minute. Because you can see here, guys, it came down to oversold. Absolutely phenomenal call here. We've come back up. Orange dot. Bang on, guys, okay? So then you're going to have all this wishy-washy stuff. We'll leave it on the 1 minute anyway to show you what's going on. So 1 minute is going to be a little bit of volatility here, guys. I do think if you zip out onto that hourly time frame, this overall is kind of going into, you know, the narrative I've been speaking about for a while. And there are videos on me on YouTube speaking about, you know, even on the 1st of January, guys, I was saying that I do think 30K is going to be, it's not going to be an easy break for Bitcoin to get above $30,000 between 28 and 30K. I said actually as a quote. And I think this is what we're getting. I do think there is some sort of complicated head and shoulders happening here. I don't want to call it head and shoulders because look at it. It doesn't look like a head and shoulders, but there's a lot of people calling for that. And I just want to make, you know, the point that you don't need to call this anything to know the direction, okay? What you really want to be doing is just identifying those highs, identifying those lows. Where are the key areas of support? And if we keep battering the door of support, it's just like a ball falling off a fucking building. You know, you have the floor, you drop the ball, and it just keeps bouncing. It's a smaller bounce. You know, that's what you're getting, a descending formation, okay? So overall, I'm seeing a descending formation. A lot of people drawing trend lines along here. I don't think it's correct. I don't think it's, you know, there's too many things going on. A lot of people get confused with pattern recognition. They trying to recognize too many things. Keep it simple, guys, with the horizontals. I don't think you even need this here, but I do think it's quite significant that we almost came for the retest of this. And guys, you already know from my Twitter, you got to follow me on Twitter that I'm saying these things in real time. I said I'm long from the fucking bottom. We're gonna rally up. I'm long, looking for a lower high and then a nuke. That's exactly what we've got, guys. And all I've identified here, it's a very similar scenario to here, guys. The rally up, and guess what? Lower high nuke. Rally up, lower high nuke. And it's happened every single time, guys. So what you're seeing is we're playing into resistance. What I'm, you know, generally seeing on this chart, what it's articulating to me is that the sellers are beginning to take over because we're not actually hitting these top side resistance levels. We are battering the lower side resistance levels, and we can't even get to trend. We can't even retest. We just get blasted into sells right there. And guess what, legends? Where are those sells coming from? Where are those sellers coming from, legends? There are forced people right now selling because everyone's fucking long. Look at the Muppets. Let me see on the lower time frames. Of course, they're long at the top. Again, guys, on the 5 minute time frame, you have 67% of the market is short, is long. It's pretty darn incredible, really. So there was a guy on my Twitter who said, "Okay, look, mate, but why do you think we're going to go down?" Sorry, no, he said, "Why do you think we're going to rally up, right? If the long to short ratio is at this level." So let me just show you this tweet. I already spoke about this a second ago, but before people who've just come into this chat or this video, I'll show you. And this is a very, very valid question. And I want to, if you do use this in your analysis, this is something that I found out over multiple years of using it. The long to short ratio is a very good barometer of understanding of generally where the market's going to go. Because if everyone's long, it's how long can it go up for? You know, 70% of the market's long. You just need an exponential smaller amount of money to push the market the other direction because you'll have a backlog of stop losses and liquidations, and the market will go on a domino effect, okay? But we have to remember, guys, that market structure, generally speaking as well, needs to be aligned, okay? It can't just be like, oh, fucking hell, we're going up and the longs are there. You know, the market can still go up if there's lots of longs, okay? But what you need to do is you need to use this in confluence with market structure. I said another move up to get it to 70% and then the nuke. From this standpoint, very simple standpoint, guys, we've had this exacerbated downside move from sellers. So you do have to remember that there's people who are short selling from these levels on the other side who are going to want to take some profit from that move. It's still a significant move. I just got remembered exactly by the point I was going to make. That's a 9% move, guys. You have to remember that with market structure, yes, we might have more net longs in the market, but shorts are still making some cash here. Guess what? Bang. They took profit, snap fucking back down. That's why I said on my Twitter, obviously it's a small comment, which is you can't really see, but overall, the narrative is we get one more push to the upside. That is the exit liquidity to the shorts, and then bang, lower high. That's exactly what I said. That's exactly what we've got. And I think if this obviously continues, this level is not going to hold. I'm going to go 25K. And I do think 25K is going to be a fucked number. Sounds a bit mental, but I don't think 25 is going to be the beautiful textbook 25 you all think about it. I think 25 is going to be very messy, actually. The market, you know, whenever everyone, even the idiots of this fucking space, you know, crypto freaking influencers are saying they're traders, when all those guys start saying the same thing, then you know there's going to be some fuckery, because, you know, there's going to be hundreds of thousands of positions potentially all laddered in here on limits, and that's what I've got. So if you're going to get that, you're either going to get it fire straight through it, or it's not going to get to it, then it's going to fire straight through it. It's going to do anything. The price is going to do anything but go perfectly to support and then bounce off it. Oh, guys, look at this beautiful textbook chart. Yes, on bigger markets, you know, on general currency markets like US dollar to Great British Pound, it's going to do the normal shit more often, okay? I'm doing my hair again, guys. You can batter me in the chat. But the price of Bitcoin is going to do anything to do the normal thing at 25. I really do think that. So this is going to we're going to come down to it, and there's going to be so many limit orders, we're not going to get to the price, then everyone's going to get over-exacerbated, then we're going to blast through it, or we're going to move forward. Or what can happen as well is that everyone's longing this price, but the price continues to fall, and then it gets to almost like a terminal, and let's just say escape velocity, or terminal velocity is not really the right word, but it gets to like an equilibrium where, oh shit, you know, all of the longs now are beginning to get stopped. And then all those longs actually get licked and stopped, and then it even makes it even more aggressive to the downside, okay? So I don't think we're going to get a perfect... If we get a perfect 25, you know, I will, you know, sing to the saints, or if that makes any fucking sense, I will pray to Lord Bitty and say, thank you, Lord. You know, you made my life a little bit easier, but we know that the competition in Bitcoin has been getting more and more difficult over the years as a more experienced and more professional trader begins to trade the market. Like, that's why I always say, when you're trading Pepe, if you make money trading Pepe, you are in essence stealing money from children. That's all you are doing. You are buying something and selling something. You are clicking a green or red button before a child, and you are taking their money. It is theft from children. But guess what? The beauty of trading is that it's an amoral market. If you want to participate, you need to understand the risks. And the risks are, there's some other motherfucker like me on the other side of the coin trading against you. So if you're trading Pepe, kids, I'm gonna take your fucking money, legends, okay? Because I've been trading for decades. You've been trading for 10 fucking minutes. If you're gonna come into this market and lose, fine. Lose. Because when you lose, you learn. But do not come to me and gloat about making money on Pep, even though I'm doing that right now. But don't come to me and gloat about making money on Pep, because all you're fucking doing is stealing money from children, okay? So if you want to tell me that you're a good trader, tell me that you made $1 million in the bond market, and then I'll be happy. I'll say, well done, mate. You're playing against a really big... It's like playing chess against a child. If you played chess against fucking a grandmaster or some shit, that's a pretty decent thing you did, man. Well done. You beat a fucking grandmaster at chess. If you beat your son at chess, I'm not like, well done. I'm like, fuck off. Why are you trying to gloat about beating your son? So I'm not going to gloat about making hundreds of thousands on Pep. All that money's sitting in cash anyway. I'm looking to buy 25k. And also, I want to make another point. Did I forget the point? Did I forget the point? Oh, Christ, have mercy. I forgot the point I was going to make already. So it will come back to me later. Shit. I was going to make a point about... What was it again? Was it about Pep? It wasn't about Pep, was it? I wasn't going to make a fucking thing about Pep. It was... I should have just told you straight up what I had a point going on about some bollocks. Anyway, Bitcoin's not going to do anything to be nice to 25k. It's going to be an erratic time. What was it? What was I going to say about the Pepe Reina? It wasn't about Pep, was it? It was. Let me think to myself, sir. I wish I just said it straight out loud and put it in the chat. MDX, Alto looks pretty good. Yeah, altcoins. Tell me what altcoins you're looking at. Yeah, Pepe, you know, at the end of the day, Pepe is one of those things, legends. It's a fucking meme coin. There's a lot of potential in these things, but the people who are gloating on the internet about making millions on Pep, it's just fucking theft in essence. When drunk stream. How do you know I'm not drunk right now, legends? But yeah, no, I'm not drunk. I'm just doing my thing. I'm actually really in work mode at the moment. I'm really knuckling down on just building my business, building my mental state, really beginning to get prepared for a good fucking bull market, which is going to come soon. Rather than later. What was my point I was going to make? I was going to say something to the community about all these things. Guys! It'll come back to me, legends. Yes. Yeah, so Pep's all fun and games. I will go into it if you want. I think I have a Dex tools up. I don't know. I had a whole list of them. I think this is the right thing. Let me just load this up for you. I had a whole list of shit coins I was looking at. That's I got a new TikTok as well. Oh, what was the point I was going to make? It was going to be so interesting, guys. It was going to be so amazing. Please don't leave. I'm going to just wait for me to find out. Yeah, so there is I'm not a fucking robot, legends. Yeah, so basically this is the shitcoin mania place. These are all the ones which I've been kind of tracking just from generally looking at this meme coin place. But yeah, this one went pretty crazy. It's still going pretty crazy. You know, at the moment, looking at about a $7 million market cap, so it's still pretty early on this one. This is one which went around my community as well. Potentially could be something here. It's only at 3.7 million. Pepu, which is an influencer one, I wouldn't touch this, to be honest. I don't think it looks that good. Pepe, obviously, is definitely tradable. I've been, you know, I shorted the top guys in essence on this again. But like I said, making money fucking shorting meme coins are just stealing off children, especially Pepe. It just feels even more kiddie than Doge. At least Doge had some fucking market participants in there. Yeah, Pornhub is done. It's not going to pump again. Just don't bother pumping Pornhub again. You know, at the end of the day, it's not going to blow. Pornhub ain't going to blow again, legends. It's not going to pump. All right, moving on. Bob. Fuck Bob, man. Just fuck Bob. Mong as well, just scam coin. I think this is just one of those ones from the degen altcoin community, like fucking Bitlord chilling it. I don't know. I think he was behind it. I don't even know. But it looks like he made a lot of money from his extra liquidity, which was his followers. Pizza. That looks like a pizza. It looks like if you had a pizza on the side angle and you saw what it looked like, that's what a pizza looks like with its toppings on it. And then Diamond Pet, which is another influencer one, which had a beautiful in and out, exit liquidity. Thank you for the millions of dollars. See you on the flippers. I know Pepe Eyes might have something, but you know what? Who gives a fucking shit, man? The altcoin craze is going to die, obviously, because it has these, you know, altcoin seasons, and then you have these switches back to normality. But it's good for the space. A lot of guys coming up to me and be like, no, but, you know, isn't crypto just going to be a casino now? And aren't everyone just going to be, like, looking at shit coins and not Bitcoin? It's always net positive for Bitcoin, because when people come in and trade altcoins and shit coins, first they have to get an exchange, they have to put money into crypto, they have to get into the volatility. Whether they make money or not, they're still integrating into the ecosystem. And, you know, you know, a lot of people are even gambling on other coins as well. Whether it's a fucking meme coin or not, they're gambling because they don't know what they're doing. So just because you don't know what you're doing on Pepe doesn't mean you don't. You still don't know what you're doing on Bitcoin. So you're doing it with everything. But what about Monkey? I don't know about Monkey. I was going to make that point. I'm going to try and remember right now what I was going to say to this community, okay? I'm going to zen in. I'm going to home in on it and be like, yo, let's do this, legends. Let's find out what I was going to say. It will come back to me. Is MDX the same as Lux Algo? Lux Algo is the biggest scam in the whole of history, legends. MDX Algo is a really, really intuitively built product by professional traders, okay? So you're going to get a host of different things that don't just tailor for beginners, but also tailor for professional traders. We have an institutional trade coming side as well with our bots, but MDX Algo is a whole different kettle of fish. It's, you know, it has beginner education. We have the academy, which is coming probably in this week. We have the traders group, my VIP group. We have the trading bots as well, and the algorithms, which are the trading view algorithms. But the main things you're going to really get value from are the traders group, the VIP group, my VIP group, which are all the courses in it. And then, guys, obviously the algorithms you get on TradingView. So you can see them working in real time right now. This is them. I haven't even got the buy and sell calls on. So you can actually click signals, turn it to labels. You'll be able to see it a bit clearer. So you'll be able to see where it says to buy and sell. There'll be probably a sell order. Yeah, there you can see that. So it says short, long, short. You see that short there, guys? That's a real time, in real time it says short, okay? So that's what you get there. What was my really important point I was going to make about the world, guys? Oh, no, I'm not going to go into the socialism one. I can't be bothered with the socialism one. Oh, God. There was some guy battering me in the DMs talking about all this bullshit about... Because I did some tweets about capitalism and socialism. And I just can't deal with it anymore. I can't deal with socialists. I'm just looking at them. They're as bad as Hitler now. I look at socialists as bad as Hitler. They are just literally just completely incapable of having any rational conversation. It's all just emotionally driven, wokeism, bollocks. I can't do it. I will do a video about it, okay? Just they're incapable of being rational on any level in terms of just not even like talking about the points, just being too emotional. Just stop. Just listen to the points. of all sides. Wi-Fi token, don't know. Let me think about what I was going to say. It wasn't even a price thing. It was more of a general thing. It was more of a general thing, guys. Yeah. Yeah, exactly. Of course. That's what you do. That's what we do. When you trade Pepe, right? When you trade these things, you're stealing money from children. You're literally, in essence, taking their dollars and their Pepe coins and whipping it into the mixer. Yeah, so there is a way to get around KYC. A lot of people are talking about this actually at the moment. There is actually a way to get around KYC. OKX doesn't have it, so there should be one. A short OKX I'll put in the comments, so you can change that there. Save that. So if I was going to use an exchange which has no KYC, go to mdxcrypto.com, okay, click on trade, and then get a Femex or PrimeXBT account, okay? And if you go to the website and you use these links, you get the bonuses, etc. So like if you actually click on, start trading with that link, it's my referral link, and then it goes down in their system as mine, and then what happens is you get a subsequent bonus for that. So Femex is a good one, guys. Come to mdxalgo.com, click on the button trade, and then you can just basically click Femex. Well, PrimeXBT is great as well, to be honest. I have to give them hats off to PrimeXBT for no KYC, and Femex as well. BitGet maybe, but I'm just I've moved away from BitGet, to be honest, but you can use them as well. But these are all the best exchanges in crypto, so go to mdxcrypto.com and then just click on these links, because obviously if you use my links, the exchanges give you a bonus and me a bonus, so it's just a win-win for everybody in essence, basically. Right, where are we, legends? Let's have a look if I could find something down here. Yeah, well, this is the tweet everyone's said. But no! Capitalism is what America is, and no! It's like, oh, I can't be bothered, actually. Okay, in the chat right now, guys, you say it, and then I'm going to leave it. What's a better system? Capitalism or socialism? You tell me. You tell me, legends, in the chat. Yeah, KYC isn't an issue at the end of the day, as long as your jurisdiction doesn't use it against you in any way. Like it's not even a bad thing if the company knows who their customers are. The problem is if governments use it against you, and a lot of people are worried about that. Yeah, there we go. Socialism, if done right. There is no right way, legends. There is no right way. Yeah, it is an issue in the US for sure. It is an issue. MDXism. Yeah, Danny, you're right, man. Yeah. Guys, hit the like button as well. Got 442 people in here. 160 likes. Just absolutely desecrate that like button. I remember the big point I was going to make in a second. I just forgot about it again because it's one of those ones where I'm like, hello, sir, here we go. Yeah, dictatorships can work in very specific instances. After war, after a big systemic collapse, actually, in a society, dictatorships can actually be very beneficial for societies, but only if the dictatorship is capped at a certain amount of years, okay? So say you have a systemic collapse in, a huge famine rips through a nation. This is historically speaking, like with Egypt and Rome, etc. And then you have a completely out of control place. Like we've gone anarchy next level kind of shit. There is actually a time where potentially with the public consent and saying, look, we do need someone to come in and just be in a situation where he has ultimate control, whether it's for good or bad, whether what he wants to do, but there can be a time and a place for that to work. With a more prosperous society, what you really do need to do is enforce freedom into individuals, because freedom is what creates integrity in people, in essence. You don't want to have socialism, because socialism means no one has to... Socialism about... I won't go into it too much, but socialism is about enforcement and control. That's what socialism is. Capitalism is about freedom and voluntary exchange, okay? So if you really think about it, all the socialists, if you're a socialist, you are actually closer to Hitler than a capitalist. So Hitler comes from a socialism ideology. That's where it came from. Control, right? Control and forceful intervention. So if you're a socialist, you're basically Hitler. In essence, what you're doing there is you're tying the two together, because With free market capitalism, you could never have something like a communist state. You could never have a Hitler. You could never have a Stalin. You could never have a Putin. These things can't happen in free market capitalism because people who live in a free market capitalist society don't believe in big government control. So that means that there's no way you could ever have a Hitler. If you believe in socialism, which is communism, fascism, elitism, Marxism, if you believe in big government taking from people forcefully, which is tax, what you're doing is you actually are, in essence, propagating, or you are closer to creating a society which could end up in a dictatorship like Hitler, or let's say communism. Anyway, we're not going into it because I'm sick of it. Bitcoinism, yeah. Well, if you buy Bitcoin, you have an understanding, because Bitcoin is an enforcement of freedom and voluntary exchange. That's what we want. Right, we've done the price action. Now it's time for some other shindigs. Yeah, here we go. Everyone's going mental in the chat, legends. Everyone's going mental in the chat. So this is the line in the sand, guys. There potentially could be some sort of buy here. We know that from what I say, my hunch is that we're probably likely going to break the lows now, actually looking at this structure. The only way I'd change my narrative on this is if we do get, let's just say, some sort of break above the prior area we saw resistance at, and that would be here. So at the moment, there's no real change of lower highs, lower lows. If we did come up and then get above here, let's just say we did something like this and then back up and got some sort of ascending formation, that's where I'd change my narrative on this if we get above that level there. But as of right now, legends, if you flip this on its head, looks like it wants to probably continue because this is some sort of exponential ascending formation. Okay, so that's what we're looking at here, leggies. Tell me, what was I going to say before? I literally knew I should have just said it. I should have just fucking said it, okay? Because now I'm sitting here thinking about what I was going to say, even though I already had it. I had it in my brain. I was looking at the charts. I was like, yeah, I'm going to try and go back on my mind and be like, what did I... It was something to do with this dumping, but anyway. We'll work it out. Why is MDX a feminist? Fuck, here we go. The real question's coming out now. Yeah, so, wokeism, feminism is just it's just an extreme extension of socialism, where you believe that you should own nothing, there should be an equitable playing field for everybody, you can't say this to me, you can't hurt my feelings. It all is an extension of socialism, because socialism is all about taking from others, taking resources from other people, and having central control over somebody else. That's what socialism is. Agreed, lol. Show us a free market capitalist society then. Every single empire ever forged on this planet began with free men and women, with small government. There is no empire ever forged with a government first. The government comes later. The government is the cancer to society. The government is the one which take money from the free market and put it into the public market. And the public market has no scrutiny from the free market or the private sector to make anything any better. So eventually you're always going to have a failing society. The government can never do anything better than the private sector because they have no scrutiny, because the government forcefully take your money. So a public school doesn't need to get better because they know they're always going to get the money regardless. The only thing, there it is, the morals. I got it. Is that what I was going to say? Oh yeah, that quote. Oh, funny shit. The only difference, right, between a socialist and Hitler, right? Only difference is what you deem, which morals you think are right and not wrong. That's the only difference. The only difference between, it's actually so fucking deep, man. If you really think about what I just said. The only difference between a socialist and Hitler is between what you believe is right and wrong through your morals. Because Hitler thought he was morally right in what he did. That's the only difference. So if you're a socialist, you're basically fucking one decision away from being Hitler. Yeah, exactly. Socialism is like a public toilet, exactly. Anyway, we've done this a billion times on this channel. Most of you guys get it. Some public toilets are very clean. It's just like, there's always going to be an anomaly to the rule, okay? But if you did a really, really interesting study or a very simple study where you took 1,000 homes, which were privately owned bathrooms, and then you took 1,000 public toilets, okay? Which toilets, generally speaking, in this fucking survey are going to be better? The private toilets or the public toilets? Take 1,000 private, take 1,000 public, you do the analyzing, you do the fucking analytics on it, and you see which one wins. I need some water, legends. No, you can't be a socialist capitalist. Doesn't make any sense. You can only be one or the other. Socialism is a bracket term for communism, elitism, fascism, communism, obviously, and capitalism is an abbreviation for two premises. And the first premise is private ownership, and the second premise is voluntary exchange. So capitalism is about ultimately retaining freedom, right? By only voluntarily giving your money away if you want to. So there's no enforcement, which would be tax in socialism. So there's no enforcement for someone taking your money from you, and you own everything that you buy, or anything you own as yourself. In socialism, it's different. Socialism is about sharing everything, big control, and forceful income. Okay, so you force someone who doesn't want to give you their money, so they can then make the decision on where that money should go. And obviously sharing, that in the tax side is sharing everything. So if you really think about it, socialists have this moral high ground where they say, oh, you know what, but you're so bad because you're a greedy capitalist. Well, guess what? Greedy capitalists are greedy capitalists. But what's worse than a greedy capitalist is a greedy socialist. Greedy socialists are way worse than greedy capitalists, because greedy socialists will forcefully take your things from you, like every single communist fascist state we've ever seen. Obviously, America is fascist state now, but if you really think about it, if you're a socialist and you're using morals against capitalists, guess what? Hitler, Putin, they're all socialists. They use control and enforcement to dictate power. If you're a free market capitalist and you believe in that, and the society is free market, there is no way there ever could have been Hitler or Putin, because people who believe in freedom don't believe in big government. So to tell me that I'm morally fucking wrong for being capitalist is a laugh in the face, because guess what? Socialism, what you're trying to propagate, these fuckers, is the thing that breeds people like Hitler and people like fucking Putin in the first place. And also socialism makes everybody poorer, because you extract money from individuals. And when people get poorer, as people get poorer and poorer and poorer, they actually are more susceptible to the manipulation of dictatorships, communist states, and individuals who are going to come up and rise to power and say, we will make your life better. All you got to do is give me your freedom. All you got to do is give me your money. I will put your money into the military. I will do this for you. Guess what that sounds like? That sounds like fucking Hitler. So socialists are basically closer to Hitler than they might well think. But capitalists aren't. Capitalists are pure. We believe in freedom. We believe that we own our own things and we only give our money to things we want. And that creates a prosperous society. And it means that there's no corruption, or there's never going to be some individual who can get the power to create a problem. So fuck socialists. Like, I'm getting to the point now, they're so rude to me. I fucking hate them. Like, they're literally just rude to me in what I believe. And what I believe in, I think, is a better future prospect. I don't have a fucking go at them, but I'm getting to the point now where I'm just like, you know what? Fuck you. You're basically Hitler. If you and they're all woke. And they're all woke. And they're all upset about feelings. Anyway, fuck them. Thing is about, okay, look, a lot of people today on the internet, they speak about like these problems. This guy wrote top G. So let's just talk about Tate for a second, okay? A lot of people on the internet, they have all these ideas about where these things are coming from. So they're like, there's some sort of Illuminati against us, or there's the deep state who are trying to force wokeism and create feminism, and there's this entity which is forcefully making the world more difficult for men, or whatever it is, right? All this shit is fine to say it, but none of them understand the solution or what's really happening. And what really is happening is that wokeism and feminism is just an extreme extension of socialism. That's the problem. It's the need and desire for control and forceful intervention. The more you rely on the government, the less responsibility you have yourself. So that means the less responsibility you have in yourself, the more you believe in your mind about you can't hurt my feelings, you're not allowed to do this, why would you dare say that, my feelings are more important? You're creating a society which is built on the back of just tailoring to people's feelings and not the logical outcomes. So wokeism and feminism is just an extension of socialism. Just the bad side of it. We did the charts and now we're back onto this topic, aren't we, sir? How dare you disagree with them from Stu? Exactly. They're so up their own arse and they're so morally proud about who they are is that they can't even be offended. They're so arrogant and they're so fucking up themselves and they believe that everything should be shared and they should have all the control and no one should hurt their feelings that they can't even have someone disagree with them. It's just a fucking mental extreme version of socialism. We shouldn't have that. No one should give a fuck what anyone else thinks. If someone's been horrible or someone's been rude or someone's saying something you don't like, you just go, okay, mate, I'll see you on the flippers. I'll do my life, you do your life. Instead of trying to make it illegal to call you this and illegal to call you that, it's all socialism. Because if the government wasn't there in the first place to have this power, then no individual who gets upset about what someone says would be able to in any way be able to force the government to put them in jail. The government can't even put them in jail because there is no big central government. They're like the fucking socialist fucking wokies. They are using the government, the socialist government, as an arm to propagate their own ideas and power against you. So they are fucking basically communists. They're fascist in a way because they're trying to liaise with the government to make your life harder. It's not. This is the big thing. This is the big thing people can get wrong, Tony. Socialism is just a bracket term for a different amount of things. That's it. There is no difference. There is no socialist society. It's either one of these things. It's either a communist, fascist, elitist, Marxist. Those are under the bracket of socialism. I'm just saying socialism because all of these things can be a collection of the whole lot. You can have partly fascist, partly communist. Look, I know, and then you're saying that it's a lack of okay. Then you just say it's a lack of education. Okay, well, if you're so smart, mate, stop trying to say it's a lack of something or a lack of this or a lack of that. Make a fucking point. Because guess what? We've all got our own points. We've all got our own ideas. Instead of saying you're wrong because you're stupid, make a good argument. Because guess what? That's what you motherfucking socialists never do. You never make a good argument. You just sit there and scream at the capitalists as it's their fault, but never actually think about the solutions. I'm coming up with logical solutions which allow less intervention from government, more freedom. I'm talking about things which really impact people's lives. Shrink the size of government, allow people to have voluntary exchange so that you only give your money if you want to and own your own things. Just a fucking blame game. I'm coming up with solutions. You're saying, no, but no. You don't understand it. Give me one example of a country doing well right now. England, massively socialist. USA, fascist. At the end of the day, I would say that it's probably this. UK is basically fascist. America is definitely fascist, if not knocking on the door of communism at this rate. Fascist United States, fascist UK. Europe is almost worse with Glung Klopp, or his fucking name. I can't remember his name. That absolute flabby meister. He's basically standing for communism in the amount of control and power he wants to exert. And this is the thing, right? This is the difference, right? There's a very fine line, legends, between there's a very fine line between a good socialist and a bad socialist, and the only fine line in the middle is what you deem is morally right or wrong. Because guess what? Hitler morally thought what he did was right, okay? And that was under a socialist regime, communism, basically, okay? If you're a socialist, you're not that far away from that. At least with free market principles and free market capitalism, there is no way any of that can ever happen because there is no big central authority or central control. That's why I'm saying that capitalist societies and free market principled societies are generally better for fucking human beings because you're not going to have the problem of a Hitler or a Stalin or a fucking Putin. That's what socialism is doing to the world. Anyway, yeah, Russia's a whole different thing. Russia definitely is, full blown right now. It's almost a dictatorship. But it's actually not because there is private enterprise. But it's again, it's pretty much the same. I think Putin and America are basically the same at this point. Is there any way to blend socialism and capitalism? They're two completely different ideologies. Like there's no way of merging any of the two. The only merger in the middle would be something like this. You might need to have some sort of collective government within a free market capitalist society, which enforces against things like monopolies, okay, or war. So everyone's prepared to pay a price for war. Everyone's prepared to pay a price to break something like a monopoly. So there is a level. Like, I'm not saying anarchy, because you got to remember, capitalism has its own brackets of things as well. You have anarchy, you have free market principles, you have half. So, like, socialism is a bracket term for a lot of things. Capitalism is a bracket term for a few things as well. I'm not saying anarchy. I'm not looking for anarchy, okay? Anyway, why are we talking about this again? I suppose the questions are coming in, but like, it's a synergy. There is a synergy on some level, but with free market societies, what you need to be doing is you really need to be limiting the role of government in the economy. There can be obviously enforcement of police, enforcement of this, enforcement of that, and there's a level playing field where everybody's prepared to pay for that type of. Let's just call it like a referee. There needs to be a referee to say, look, you own this, you own that, you can't hurt him. Anything that encompasses over, life, freedom, and property in essence. Okay. But let's just get this very fucking straight right now. Big central government and socialism is the way to destruction, okay? And that's what we're seeing right now with the UK. That's what we're seeing with America, because obviously America have... it's fascist in itself, because it's a hybrid between private enterprise and government, but government have a massive say in what private enterprise do, and vice versa. And also you have the Federal Reserve, which... is really, really worrying, because it has its manipulation from government, and that means there is no free market in capital in terms of money. So money is actually completely controlled in America, so that just means that's completely against free market principles, capitalism. So it's an absolute fuck show at the end of the day. All you know is that, there's a few different ways you can go down. Like, we've had the whole history. We've had monarchies, you have republics, you've had constitutional things like America at the moment, at the beginning with the founding fathers, and that was a free market society. And then you've had it flip all around the place. It's been socialist systems, like Marxist systems. You've had communism, fascism, you name it. But if you really go just do the history, there is no example of any big socialist country doing very well. And the great thing is about free market capitalist societies is that that ideology at the beginning of any empire is always what thrives at the beginning. That's what you need from them. That's how you get to an empire state. It's not like there's a government there and then they create the empire. The empire comes out of free market principles. But because of human beings thinking they are cleverer or smarter than the free market, you see this self-fulfilling prophecy where human beings take more and more control from the free market and eventually just implode the civilization as a whole. No. I know exactly what fascism is. I know exactly what it is. I know a lot more than most of you, because 99% of people don't understand what fascism is. Because fascism is what your government has brainwashed you into thinking that some bad dictatorships were like. But fascism is not dictatorships. And fascism have had really, really bad fucking outcomes. Fascism is very, very clearly stated in the definition of fascism. Fascism is that it's just basically a synergy between government and private enterprise. That's all it is. It means the government has influence over private enterprise and private enterprise has an influence over government, but it's around 50-50. Communism is just 100% the government owns all private enterprise, even though it's not even private anymore. So the government owns everything. The government is just the owner of all enterprise. That's communism. Then you have elitism, which is more of you have a monarchy system, you have elitism. You have a whole load of different ones. And then you have Marxism as well. They would go down that fucking road. So just because there's been a few instances of fascism which has gone down very, very badly, that's what America... I don't even know why it's even crazy. That's what America's doing. That's what America's doing right now. Yeah, republics aren't good either. The Roman Empire went through a whole host of different things. You know, it went through republics. It was a monarchy. It even had dictatorships at times. Yeah, so if you get MDX algo, type in MDX50. And then if you'll pay half price if you get that. So buy it for half price. It's only like $30, and then you can actually claim back the last amount. All systems fail eventually. Well, you know, at the end of the day, there are a lot of cycles which happen over a long, long period of time. And just because human beings in general will always cease to exist in some level, because we have a maximum lifespan, what you usually do is you have an empire, but eventually over a long period of time, you might just have a few 100-year period where the people just in general aren't as switched on, especially at the end of empire when they don't need to do anything. When it's almost like as an empire gets very, very great, the people don't really need to innovate or get any better because they just think that they're the best and everything's done in there before them. And then eventually what happens is, because they don't innovate, it's like when a family gets rich, or let's say an individual gets rich, here's a family. The children are never usually as good as the beginning family, because they've being able to benefit from everything that his father did or mother did. So they don't really have the drive, and then the money kind of rolls over to the next generation when they lose it all. Same as empire. I need some water, legends. Yeah, the US Empire is on the way out. Yeah, so like we have our recent past. You have the Dutch Empire, you have the English Empire. Now we have the American Empire. You have the Roman Empire. You have the Ottoman Empire. Like they all cease to exist. It comes down to usually a combination of, you know, overexpansion, war, and then you have a problem with usually big deficit spending. That's ultimately what you usually see with empire, because like you said, like the government gets too big, they have too much control, and they deficit spend. There are actually some very, very interesting ideas which you can run in your brain, and there are in the Amazon rainforest, there are tribes and there are people, civilizations within the Amazon rainforest that have been there for thousands and thousands of years. Okay? None of that shit has anything to do with fucking socialism. It's in essence capitalism, because the people who are there, they believe in what they own is theirs, and it's voluntary exchange. No one's enforcing them to do anything. So these are micro-tribal civilizations who've been there for thousands of years. My dad was an accountant who specialized in saving falling companies. He also says 90% of family businesses fall in the third generation. Yeah, it's true. So it's a, and also what happens is as something gets very, very good, the ability to need to innovate goes down. So there's not as much need to get better. And then just something else rises up, because when something gets very, very big, the appetite to take risk goes down, because the thing that is big works, right? So you don't want to take as much risk, because you're like, don't fucking try and fix it if it isn't broken. So your risk appetite goes down in a big company. Let's just say company structure. You have more and more slow accounting, dialogue, communication. As it grows and grows and grows, it just gets slower and more lethargic, with a less appetite to take risk. So eventually what happens is something else which is better. For a smaller company, they have more appetite to take risk. They haven't got someone telling them what to do. They haven't got a board. It's faster. Those dynamics then say, okay, look, we're going to innovate faster, and then they eventually take down the big boy. But that's great. It's like innovation. And also you could even say that this will be an interesting thought experiment, right? So we're all just human beings. So if an alien looks down on planet Earth, if you have the rise of one empire and then it falls, and then another empire comes in its place, which is better, right? Net positive for humanity. So the rise and fall of empire is just a natural selection process. You know, it's just like this one comes up and then one gets better and does better. And then it's actually in essence very healthy, because it just means that you just have continuously progression. You're really interesting when you're not pissed. I'm not pissed, legends. I've been doing my charts, talking about my stuff. Now I'm sitting here chatting some schism and nizza with you. I need some water, but I'll be all right. Yeah. So, you know, tribes in the Amazon rainforest are strictly driven on free market principle societies. They have ultimate freedom. They haven't got big government. You know, they're working in a fashion which is you create, you own, and you voluntarily give gifts or exchange of goods and items. So that's just fucking a good example. Yes. Free lecture from Professor MDX or Max, yeah. Yeah, I'm just blurbing on. There was a really good point I was going to make, but I forgot it earlier. I had it on the tip of my tongue, but I just lost it. I lost it, legends. Maybe I've got it in my saved tweets. I did write something. Let's have a look on tweets. I'll go on my Twitter and have a look. So I was going to write a tweet earlier, but I didn't. Let's have a look if it's in here. On the drafts. Why didn't I put that tweet out? That's hilarious. I have this old tweet here which says, "It's funny how the survivors of COVID-19 don't think it was a big deal." Yeah, it's pretty true. I don't know where I read that. That's a funny quote. Yeah, it's like all these guys who are coming out like, yeah, no, COVID wasn't that bad. Didn't do anything. Like, the only reason we're hearing all this is because obviously the survivors didn't die. So all the people who fucking died, I tell you what, I reckon they thought it was a fucking big deal. The COVID survivors. Big headline. COVID survivors didn't think COVID was a big deal. Probably get taken down now, this stream, won't it? See on the flippers. What was the thing, legends? I was going to clip it as well. Nah, it might have been about peps. It might have been about some stuff. I don't know. COVID-19 survivor. Yeah, I might put that in my book. That's a good bio. Yeah, it was a bit mental, wasn't it? It was a bit mental, leggies. Yeah, I was thinking about saying something on stream. No, it wasn't about peps. It was something else. It's just like a fucking thing I was gonna say. I'll have a little think now. So it was just something which was going around the other day. I just wanted to comment on it. It's so annoying when you forget something. The Rothschilds. Yes, everyone bangs on about these fucks. I was talking about the price dumping, but I was like, everyone thinks this, but no. Yeah, well, it's all a lie, isn't it? Inflation, obviously. Inflation is just a complete lie from the government. If you want to get good inflation numbers, go to true inflation. I actually have the thing, I think, here. Where's my analytics? True inflation. England's getting wrecked right now for inflation. So America about 3.7 is true inflation. UK is probably about 15. Yeah, 15%. So inflation right now in terms of prices, CPI is absolutely skyrocketing. But even this in itself is still not really telling the truth about what inflation is. Because inflation isn't the actual increase of prices. We already know this. I've said this many, many times. Inflation isn't the price of things going up. That's just the price going up. Like, that's just because the price of things are rising. CPI is just increasing in price. Inflation is an increase of supply. That's the definition of inflation. Deflation is a decrease of supply. Inflation is an increase of supply. So when you increase the supply of US dollars or you increase the supply of Great British pounds, the direct result of that is the prices of things going up. But it shouldn't be called inflation. It's not. It's just wrong. It's just the price is going up because of inflation. The prices are going up because of inflation. We've been through that one many times. Buy gold. Gold is the way. Yeah, gold is pretty good. Can't lie. Yeah, but I'm saying that COVID isn't a big deal to the survivors. It obviously is a big deal to people who didn't fucking survive, but we don't hear from them, do we? Because they're dead. Legend. We don't go around being like, oh yeah, cancer wasn't a big deal. We know it's a big deal. It's a big deal. A lot of people die from cancer. A lot of people die from COVID. But the survivors, oh yeah, don't worry about it. We survived. I'm in the UK. Food is up 50%. Energy up 100%. Up no one mentions the trillions of GDP printed from thin air. Ad paid back to the banksters with interest. Yeah, the UK is just absolutely done. The inflation's crazy high. It's all because of government intervention. The government is the only one to blame for high prices in the UK. There is no other way to word it. If there was no massive big government with the control they have, there wouldn't be high prices right now. It would literally be the same as another European country or the same as the US. It's just literally just the lack of competence in government, which is obviously always going to happen, that has got them to this position, because they're so energy independent. Like they're dependent. They're in their own, within England. They can't depend on themselves for energy. They're so externally dependent on other people, and that's all because of the government. The government is completely the fault for this, and the reason is that they have a price cap on energy for consumers, and that's what's made England so expensive for energy. If there wasn't a price cap on energy in England, you would probably have 65 other companies selling gas, electric, and oil, whatever it is, whatever it means. You'd have a lot more energy companies in the UK if there wasn't a consumer cap. When you put a cap on energy for companies to charge consumers, that means that you put companies out of business, because businesses can't sell at a loss. So because of socialist ideologies and the socialist system we have, you have the government who are trying to enforce. They're trying to help people because they think they're right. They're trying to enforce that you can't make people pay more than this amount of energy and energy costs per month. But in doing that, what happens is that it makes a lot of companies go bust, because companies can't sell at a loss and they can't change that number. So if it's impossible for you to bill any higher and your costs are higher than that, you can't sell at a loss. So that puts you out of business. The government can't react fast enough to the free market, so they're obviously going to get it wrong at times, which they have obviously done. And then what that means is that you have hardly any energy companies in the UK. It's all externally bought in. Prices are going up. Putin war. And then you have the problem where if you had a lot more companies all selling electricity and energy in the UK, then you'd have a better, more free market dynamic, because the more companies bidding on the same amount of customers for energy means the price goes down. Nice one, England. Yeah, England's ruined. It's it's in crazy printing, massive deficits, huge government intervention, huge social programs, which means that you don't get a good quality of anything, especially schools. Healthcare is extremely bad. Hugely high tax because of public services, which don't give you a good thing. And then eventually what you see is massive crime in London now, because what you're seeing is that the rich get richer and the poor get poorer, and that creates divide. And then you see a lot of anger and you see a lot of crime. So England's done. I do love England, but it's I wouldn't live there again for now anyway. If things get better in the next few years, then maybe, but I wouldn't live there right now. It's just expensive, lots of crime. Why? Like, energy is just ridiculously expensive. Just fuck that. Spot on. Max suppliers in hand with the Gov bankrupted all small suppliers, and now the big suppliers charge the cap price by default. No free market. Gov says windfall tax instead of lowering cap. Yeah, it's just absolutely ridiculous. It's just so stupid. The government are the leading cause of the whole problem. If there was no big intervention in government and it was a free market, you'd just have thousands of companies trying to compete for energy. Be down in a second. Yeah. MDX Island Max. Yeah, one day, Regins, one day. I'm literally just like sitting here trying to remember the thing I was going to say. It's been the whole video. I've been sitting here the whole video trying to think of the thing I was going to say. I can't think of it. I guarantee you I'll stop streaming and be like, boom! That was the point I was going to make to my legends. But it's an interesting... I just remember it being hilarious, and I think you guys would have taken some value from it. Hit the boozer. Hit the boozer. 25k, come on. I was gonna do a whole video. Ask me some questions in the chat, legends. I'll blast some questions off. Let me get a glass of water. Fucking thirsty right now, legends. Yeah, gold's a bit... Can't be arsed with gold. Yeah, gold's shit because, you know, it's generally good, like, you know, historically being quite good, but there's no guarantee when you buy paper gold that it's going to be sent to you if you ever want to claim it. It's the same as the fucking US dollar again. What? Do you have a video of you explaining how you got from where you were to here? I don't know, mate. Yeah, my whole journey really. I got lots of videos and stuff. It's been I've spoken about my journey many times. I do have some clips somewhere, but ultimately, quite a long journey. I will say it again some other time. How do you think as a 16-year-old? How do you think as what? How do you think I as a 16-year-old should do to become financially free in the future? I'm into crypto forex, but I heard about famous portfolios that work against inflation. Are meme coins done? It's a big question, dude, and I've answered this question to many people, for like young men and stuff, you know, who are just getting into financial markets in general. You know, to become financially free, it really, really comes down to just having some sort of strategy to get there and being consistent. You know, there's a million different ways you can get rich. Like, you gotta remember, like, you could literally sell anything and get rich doing it. It just depends on the execution and the drive. But in terms of financial markets, you've really just got to I don't know how long you've been trading for, but it takes a long time to get the knack of trading for sure. It goes against your psychology. It's something that you need to definitely work on in your mindset, because you don't want to go with the trend. You kind of want to go against that in quite a lot of respects, what you feel. But being into crypto is great because crypto is a growth story. It's going to grow. The market generally is going to grow over time. I see a lot of great data coming out showing that the general growth of Bitcoin looks good. FX markets, I traded FX markets for many years and I've just moved away from it completely because there just isn't that much opportunity there. Like there are some interesting plays of Great British Pound to Aussie dollar, and there's stuff going on with the US dollar to other markets, but it's just not really, I'll look at some charts, but my name's MDX Crypto for a reason, so I'm kind of stuck in the crypto mindset since about 2016. There are a few famous portfolios, which ultimately can work pretty well against inflation. And I think like if you really want to be that kind of, against inflation guy, what you really want to be doing is buying assets that have a fixed or scarce supply. So obviously stuff like gold, silver, Bitcoin are all very, very good at that. But there are other alternatives as well. Like, if you want to get into that whole, I'm the guy who fights for freedom and against inflation story, you can do the whole host of things. You can even do it in real estate. You can do it in fine art, wine. But I'd say Bitcoin, is ultimately probably the best one hit with gold and silver. But, meme coins are not, they're probably not done. They've got a bit of volatility, but they're going to have ups and downs. You got to remember Dogecoin went to like, $50 billion market cap. A $50 billion market cap, legends, okay? But that was at the peak of a bull market. We're not in a bull market right now, guys. We just, in essence, did a bear market rally after a big bear market. So I don't think Pepe will make a new high now. I think it's probably unlikely it can happen, but I'd say that meme coins are probably done. But if I was you, I'd, it's very easy to get rich. It's super simple to get rich. It just takes a little bit of, to get rich, it just takes discipline, consistency, and a little bit of understanding about what the process is. And it's really simple. All you've got to do at the very beginning, you got to do something of value for somebody else. And you need to earn, okay? When you earn, you just need to save your earnings in something that retains its purchasing power in general, okay? That's the first thing you need to do. Earn, save, and leave those savings in something that retains purchasing power. So you're not having a difficult time getting ahead. Then all you need to do with your savings is invest an allocation of it, whatever percentage you are, whatever percentage you're comfortable with. Invest a proportion of it into assets, which I would say is a cash flow retaining asset. Invest into assets that you believe can appreciate or give you a return on investment. Okay. In the beginning, you're probably not going to get it right that many times. You're probably going to make a lot of mistakes. But if you make money, save your money in asset retains purchasing power, and then invest a proportion of that into things that you believe can give you a return on investment or appreciate, whether it's cash flow or appreciation, and you do that consistently for many, many years, over many, many decades, you will get better at it. If you ask someone to make you a cup of tea in England and they've never done it before, it's not going to be as good as if they've made 10,000 cups of tea. Okay? That is a cardinal rule in England. If you make a lot of cups of tea, it's going to be better. So it's the same thing with investing. You're just going to get better over time. And if you just ultimately do that, don't spend your money on stupid shit. Save what you earn at the beginning in something that retains purchasing power, and then move some of that purchasing power into something that can effectively give you a return. You might not get it right at the beginning, but if you get it right 51% of the time, you're beginning to make money, and then you just compound that strategy. And then it's literally that easy to get rich. It's not even hard. It's just not hard to get rich, really, actually, today. The hard part is doing it, executing it, and having the consistency to keep going, even through the hard times. But that's what I did. I'm no different to any of you motherfuckers. That's what I came from nothing. I came from zero. I had debts when I was 20 years old. I was at uni. I did all the same thing. I had no help. The only help I got was a good education. And that's the one thing I can pray for. But, there's nothing else out there. Literally anybody can do it. It's just anyone can do it. You just have to be disciplined, and just understand that you need to have a free market mindset as well. You really do need to believe in free market stuff as well. I do think that does really help. You know, what like which socialists are actually like doing anything great? Like where? Okay, let's just say doing anything great, because they could be in their mind could be doing something great. But where are the rich socialists? Like creating companies and building value and giving back. Like where is it? Where are they? They're not there because they just want to take. They're not there. Let's have a look at the comments here. I don't want to go college or uni, but my parents will force me. It's a waste of time and money. Yeah, then don't go. Like, then don't go. They can't force you. Just say, no, I'm not going. Because it is a waste of money and it is a waste of time. I did it. I went to uni. But uni was just more of an experience for me. It was a fun experience at that as well. I did like music and sound technology. I was like DJing and shit, just making music, partying. It was good fun. And you learn a little bit of social interaction skills, I suppose, but it's definitely a waste of money for sure. If you're not doing something that is a blue chip industry, which is you need to have a degree, something like, you know, being an architect. I think that the only things you really need to get a degree in are things that you need to learn that endanger other people. Okay, so like say architecture, you need to know how to do that properly because it endangers other people if you do it wrong. If you are a doctor or a dentist in that area, or you know someone who's doing surgery, you need to have some sort of certificate which says that you are capable of really doing this, because that's endangering someone else's life. But when it comes to business studies and events management and art and all this shit, like what the fuck are you talking about? Do you think Picasso or fucking Roald Dahl or fucking some guy, you know, Da Vinci was doing a fucking... Do you really think he got a degree before he made it big in the creative arts? No, they didn't. Yeah, you can get 50% off MDX Algo with MDX 50, and then you can get access to everything we do. And also, Legends, you can get all of it back as well by going into claim free month. You can claim a free month as well within the app. MDX, wait, are you telling me that gender studies is not a useful degree? Yes, I am. Hello. How are you doing? What do you say? What do you eat? What is this? Oh, you got a vape for me? No, for me. What? Where's the other vape? Come and say hello to the legends. Hello. Oh.
Hello, guys.
I don't think they can even see you. Look, it's there. You need to put your head down like that.
No, it's frozen for some reason. No, it doesn't work.
All right, do it on this one. Look, I'll show you. You can see it in real time here, sir.
Oh.
Bubble, we spoke about this. No dancing on webcam, for fuck's sake.
Why?
I've
We
told
need to
you.
make money for our family.
No. You need to be not dancing around naked on webcam. I've told you so many times.
Who support webcam? Plus in the chat.
Who support webcam? Fucking hell. I told you, no naked webcam. I'm trying my hardest. I know it's a fucking bear market. I know it's a bear market, babe, but come on. Prostitution is not allowed. For fuck's sake.
But I try my best.
No. The only person you're dancing for is me.
Okay.
Are you German?
Yes, I'm a little bit German, a little bit English, a little bit...
Long on webcam.
Okay, guys, enjoy in time.
Bob, where's the
Excuse me?
where's the vape, babe?
It's my way. I started this with you.
All right, you take it.
You want? I can buy another one.
No, I've already got the other ones. What? You want to suck my vape? Come on, suck the vape.
I want to suck you.
No, it's okay. I actually don't want it because it will just make me feel like I need to smoke, and I don't want to smoke. So
I want for some reason this one.
date vape.
Jesus.
Golden God, Jesus, Jesus. Oh Lord. What channel is webcam? And what time? Downtime.
It's time for webcam. We need money.
All right. Go make some money, babe, on cam, all right? Send it over when you're done. Oh, Lord. I don't know. I was watching MDX OnlyFans. Bitcoin's beginning to try and find some sort of support. It's likely going to nuke here. Back down. I said ascending formation, pop, and then back down. Guys, also go to the description. You can get a free month of MDX Algo to sign up to Bybit. Get a Bybit account with the link below. How long have we been streaming for? I might as well just like keep it clean tonight. Oh, I suppose we're good. Do 20 minutes. It's been a bit of a all over the place stream, but you know what? Fuck it. Why not? I still can't remember the thing I was going to say. Ask me some questions, legends. Maybe it was just the Pepe thing I wanted to talk about. Maybe that was it. Maybe I just wanted to talk about Peps and how you're stealing money off children. Amazing stream, in my opinion. A lot more entertaining than just crypto. Well, you know, the price moves and then it doesn't move for a long time. So you got to chat about some other stuff. What's the best swing and scalp timeframes you've had luck on with MDX Algo? The indicators are literally designed for every time frame individually, specifically. So you really can. I would say, like, if you was going to give you like a one which a lot of people use, you know, I would say like the 1 minute, 3 minute, people scalp with it a lot, and then you use the trend 2, so have the trend confluence on the hourly on trend 2, and then have a lot of people use Heikin-Ashi candles as well. So this has got Heikin-Ashi candles on. You can see like I've got a nice long there, short. Heikin-Ashi candles do make it look a little, you know, very pretty. You can actually use these indicators pretty nicely with the orange dots as well. You can see a nice long call there. I think it probably comes back down. Yeah, I think the probability is increasing of Bitcoin going a bit lower. You know, we could get a little bit of tomfoolery back up. You know, I think ultimately it could come like this on the daily and then back down like that. I do think we're ultimately going to get it. You know, we have these lower highs coming in. We've had the breakdown like I predicted anyway for the lower high, but I think it could get something like that, you know. I do think it's possible that I think 25 is quite likely, actually. More likely than if I'm going to be proven wrong about 25, it just needs to break the prior high. It needs to come back above here and close above it. But I think the probability is increasing. Yeah, memes are a bit wrecked. So the settings I've got on mine right now, I've actually got Heikin-Ashi candles on. So go to candles, type, click on Heikinashi. And then I've got the settings. I've got the new update. I've got trend 2 on, which is a higher time frame trend. I've got Heikinashi mode selected because I'm on Heikinashi candles. I got moving averages on. I've got take profits and trend exhaustion on. I sometimes have these on as well. I didn't have them on now because I took them off earlier for the video, but I do like to have the daily, weekly, monthly, and yearly opens on, and sometimes supply and demand. But when you're scalping, you don't really need those days because they're not really going to come in. But you can see they are relevant on some levels sometimes. We need to make it so the lines come up above that. That looks fine. It's caught the range quite nicely, actually. Let me just think about what I was going to say. Fuck, just can't remember it. I literally I knew if I just didn't say it straight away, I would have forgotten it, and I just wanted to wait a little bit to tell you something else, and then I forgot it. It's so typical. So typical. It's just bloody typical, son. Just bloody goddamn typical, isn't it, mate? Just bloody goddamn typical, son. Let's have a look if I got it in here. In my, because sometimes I write down notes. I remember. Right, go, legends. I've been here for 2 hours. Not yet. 15 more minutes. But yeah, if you just come into the stream, go watch from the beginning because I rattle off all the price action stuff at the beginning, and then I just sit here and answer questions really for a couple of hours, and then do my shaying digs. Yeah, well, this is like I said at the beginning, there is potentially some support here. We've come down quite quickly, quite aggressively. You know what happened is last time we had this big snap. We have a rally out. Big snap down. It rallies back in, sideways and down. Rallies back in, sideways and down. So, not saying it has to be exactly the same, but the moral of the story is we're still getting lower highs. If the price comes up here and breaks there and holds above it, then yeah, we've broken out. But I think it's less likely. I think the trend probably continues, and then we probably come to 25 at some point. And if we just do stay range bound, then you're looking for that trend to like break there, and then it will be something like that. And then here we go, and then back up to topside trend, and then fucking around like this. But looking at this, if you invert it, it looks pretty aggressive to then do something like this, and then wouldn't surprise me. Would not surprise me, sir. It's gone a daily. Yeah, it even looks like some sort of diamond reversal as well. I've been saying from the very beginning, guys, from January 1st, literally, I've been talking about how I think that this area is going to get tagged as resistance, and that is pretty much what we're getting right now. A lot of people talking about some sort of head and shoulders. I don't really see it, but it's another thing to look at for sure. Right. Legends. Yeah, guys, go to the description, get a Bybit account, get an OKX account. They're both great exchanges below to trade. Like I said to that other guy before, trading accounts, get those below. They're good exchanges, and you can get a free month of MDX algo. If you use MDX 50, you get half price, but they'll cost $30 at checkout. But when you actually go into the platform, you can click a button called Claim Free Month, and you can actually get $30 back into your Bybit account. And also, you can get $1,000 free position. Not a deposit bonus, a free position. So you can get that with the link below, legends. But I'll see you in Discord. We got a VIP group and everything. All right, legends. I'll speak soon. Have a good one. Oh, legends, guys. Have a good one. Bye-bye.